My name is Omar Badsha. I'm a photographer and artist, and I work for a history project in South Africa. Well, firstly, if you were involved in the liberation struggle was not just a struggle for liberation, freedom, democracy, but it was also a project that dealt with the cultural issue, to interrogate the whole apartheid and racial, cultural practice, and to develop a different way of narrating South Africa from the normal tropes that the apartheid paradigm imposed on us. So my work, like many others, has been that interrogation of that issue, being part of a narrative that deals with those issues. So essentially at two levels. One, it was a level of photographing or drawing that were related to mass mobilization or bearing witness and distributing material to the local and international press about what was happening in the country. But we went a little further and felt that just bearing witness or being a photojournalist was not good enough. One needed to develop another way of looking at South Africa. And so I was drawn to documentary photography at that level, where I could control what I said, how it was said, where it was said. And so that was, and who the audience was. So that was quite important to us. It informed the liberation or the discourses in the opposition to apartheid. Some of the essays in this show, or photographs in this show, come from books and essays that were done as part of campaigns. Specifically, the one on the child in 1969, the book that was banned, Letter to Kurzana. Then there was Imijondolo, the work in Inanda. And that work started off as a way of drawing attention to the problems in that very massive and new informal settlement where there was very little resources. So, one sees the impact of one's work at that level of bearing witness, but then again in the book one tries to develop a narrative that breaks the standard way of looking at South Africa or a particular community. Whether one succeeded or not, that's left for other people to decide, but for me that was what drove those projects. No, I think there was no favorite project. I don't work that way. I evolve projects, I work projects over time. Let me put the question the other way. There's no such thing as a favorite. Each body of work helps you develop your way of saying things, and so so you look at what you do as not something extraordinary or driven by the market or whatever. You're doing it because you want to do it and you're part of a broader discourse, a struggle. As a documentary photographer, it's not just the product, the photograph, it's the interaction that you are involved in. And you have the opportunity, you have the opportunity to be able to learn more about people and communities, and to interact, and so that in itself is a huge learning process. For me, that is most important as an artist. And as you know, I've never been represented by any gallery in this country, or never been part of the art market. Not that I don't sell or don't want to sell, but a lot of the work emerged out of that my interaction with communities. So I have a responsibility in what happens to the work and how it is presented. There are special moments. There are very special moments in a lot of these work because they have a resonance to me. There's the photograph of my daughter and my granny. There's the photograph of the funeral of a colleague of mine who worked with me, who became part of the underground. He worked with me in the dark room. He was a member of the underground, goes out of the country, gets trained, comes back, and is killed in an action. Those have work that have meaning for me, special meaning. That's why I use that particular photograph for the book, The Quadrant Heart, on the cover.